What an idiot, bringing disaster upon himself. Little Nami had just witnessed an unbelievably insane scene. Then, Luke Saint began to gather the threads, remarking, "This stuff is pretty good." At this point, Dana Zheng and Violet Lamb were finally released, their faces etched with pain and fear. The weapon was quickly collected by Luke Saint. A psychic weapon made from flowing silver. I can make use of this for now. Nami was thrilled, hugging Luke Saint and praising him. "Wow, big brother, you're so amazing. Thank you for saving everyone." He responded with a gentle hom. Morgan Tang and the village chief could finally relax. Morgan said, "The martial strength Luke Saint just displayed was terrifying, and his psychic power is even more frightening." The village chief exclaimed, "My God, how old is that boy? He looks like a high school student. To have martial arts cultivation equivalent to a level 5 at 17 or 18 and mastery level skills is monstrous enough. But to also have psychic power that can easily suppress a level 3 like Kai Wu. Truly, geniuses appear in every generation. Our nation is about to see a dragon ascend." Violet Lamb was dumbfounded. How can Luke Saint be so strong? Wasn't he just some useless glutton? Dana looked at her friend and chuckled. "Luke Saint is handsome and powerful, so he's the real genius. I'm glad I wasn't wrong." "Huh?" Morgan Tang clutched his arm and approached Luke Saint, wondering nervously, how should I address him now? He stammered, "Mr. Saint, this time it's really." Seeing Morgan Tang being so formal, Luke Saint said, "Brother Morgan, I just took care of some pervert who didn't know his place. No thanks are necessary." Suddenly, Luke Saint remembered the flowing silver mine and said, "Speaking of which, I have something I need your help with." Before even knowing what it was, Morgan Tang's eyes were firm as he quickly replied, "Don't worry, I will do everything in my power to help." 3 hours later, on the bus, Luke Saint looked out the window. He thought to himself, the main objective of this trip to Mount Oxhead is more or less complete. He felt a sense of relief and satisfaction. I've entrusted the flowing silver matter to Morgan Tang. He's passed the official level 2 psychic assessment, so he has his own channels to handle it. Next up, I should go register for the psychic exam myself. Luke Saint looked down at Kai Wu's flowing silver threads with a smile. Plus, I got an unexpected flowing silver psychic weapon. It must be around 8 to 10 pounds. A truly pleasant surprise. Violet Lamb looked at Luke Saint with a complicated expression. I never imagined Luke Saint's strength was so immense. If it weren't for him, I would have died on Mount Oxhead. Dana Zheng turned and asked, "Luke Saint, where are you headed next?" He answered honestly, "The capital city. The Psychic Association is there. I have some business to take care of." Hearing this, Violet was surprised, and Dana's eyes lit up. The capital city. What a coincidence. We're going to the capital too. We can go together. Luke Saint gave an awkward smile. Aren't you 2 students at Dongning Martial Arts University? Why are you going to the capital instead of back to Dongning Province? Dana was at a loss for words, making Violet's mouth twitch. She sighed and covered for Dana. Dana's family is actually in the capital. Before she came to Mount Oxhead, she told me she was going to make a trip home. Dana, as if grabbing a lifeline, chimed in, yes. I was just about to go home." Luke Saint didn't question it further and replied gently, "Then let's go together. I'm not familiar with the capital. Maybe you could show me around." Dana smiled. No problem. You can even stay at my place." As Dana chattered on, Luke Saint sighed to himself. "Sigh, what am I doing? Am I really going to start a relationship with her? Whatever. I still have too many things to do. I'll leave as soon as I get to the capital." Suddenly, his phone rang. Luke Saint answered it. "Hello." The voice on the other end was Crystal Dong. "Luke Saint, it's me, Crystal Dong." He immediately recognized her voice. "Hello, Instructor Dong. What can I do for you?" Crystal Dong frowned as she informed him. "The selection for the Genesis project has been moved up. Where are you? I'll come pick you up immediately." Luke Saint was a bit surprised, but answered decisively. "Moved up? All right. I'm about to arrive at the capital city's transit station. Hearing this, she agreed. Okay, I'll be there in about 15 minutes. Wait for me. At the capital city's bus transit station, the three of them got off together. Luke Saint then announced, something's come up, so I won't be going into the capital anymore. Let's part ways here. Dana became sad. Huh, where are you going then? I'll call someone to give you a ride. Suddenly, a commotion erupted around them. Holy crap, look! It's the heart of the Empire from the Lion Kingdom. And it's the latest model. Oh my God, it's real. This is the life of the rich. A luxurious car pulled up right in front of where Dana Zheng was standing. A girl ran up and hugged Dana tightly, calling out, Dana, Dana, you back home. Seeing the girl, Dana was a bit surprised. Wendy, how did you guys get here so fast? A blonde guy in the driver's seat greeted them. Hey, Dana, long time no see. Seems like you've gotten even prettier. Are these your friends? Introduce us. Why is it you, Leo? Dana frowned, annoyed to see him. But she reluctantly made the introductions. This is Violet Lamb, my best friend at Doning Martial Arts University. A level 2 martial artist. Violet nodded slightly. After introducing Violet, Dana turned to Luke Saint. This is Luke Saint. I met him on my trip to Mount Oxhead. A good friend. In her heart, she thought, Luke Saint has too many secrets. Come to think of it, I still don't really understand him. The blonde guy, Leo, looked at Dana and Luke Saint with a hint of jealousy. Hearing the introduction, Wendy went to shake Violet's hand. Oh, a level 2 martial artist? That's amazing. Hi, I'm also Dana's good friend. My name is Wendy too. The blonde guy chimed in. My name is Leo Chow. If you're Dana's friend, you're my friend too. You must be tired from the trip. Get in the car, I'll drive you guys to the capital and show you around. Dana suddenly spoke up. Wait, your car only has 4 seats. We'll just take a cab. Luke Saint quickly added, don't worry about it. My friend is coming to get me soon. It's fine. When he tried to persuade Dana. What's the big deal, Dana? He's just some friend you met on a trip. Do you really need to treat him like this? We're your real friends. Don't tell me you like him or something. We have plenty of handsome guys like that in our circle. Leo Chow then took out his wallet with a condescending tone. My bad, I wasn't thinking. Since you're an acquaintance of Dana's, we can't treat you poorly. He held out a wad of cash. Here, is this enough? Take the money and get yourself a cab. Dana's brow furrowed, and she shouted in anger. What do you two think you're doing? Luke Saint saw her getting angry and patted her shoulder comfortingly. It's all right, it's okay. I already told you. Suddenly, a gust of wind from nowhere blew Leo Chow's stack of money away. Luke Saint said, my ride is here. From the sky, a helicopter descended, stunning everyone. What the hell? Crystal Dong stood at the open door and said coolly, get up here. We can't land in the city. The scene was ridiculously cool, off the charts awesome. All right, Luke Saint heard her and leaped high into the air, grabbing onto the helicopter's landing skid. Everyone's jaw dropped in astonishment. The Eastern Military Region's aircraft. Did he just fly up there? Luke Saint turned back and waved at the group below. Well then, everyone, see you next time. The helicopter ascended and flew away. The blonde girl exclaimed, Holy crap, you could call that a street-level god. And the other guy was sweating buckets. He's like one of those middle-aged ladies who rides a bike to a real estate office and buys out the entire apartment complex in one go. Leo Chow was also stunned, stammering, Dana, who is your friend? Dana turned to him, her face filled with anger. Then, Dana grabbed Violet's hand and pulled her away. Violet, let's get a cab to Liangcheng. Sorry, everyone. It's Liangcheng, not the capital. I made a mistake in the previous chapters. As Dana stormed off in a fury, the other two were left speechless. The military helicopter moved swiftly, with dense buildings passing by below. On the helicopter, Luke Saint looked down and said, This is my first time on a helicopter. Everything below looks like a small town made of Lego. Crystal Dong asked if he liked it. If you like it, you can join our Eastern Military Region in the future. Luke Saint, in his innocence, said something audacious. I thought you were going to say you'd give me one. Crystal Dong walked up to him. Are you dreaming? I meant you could ride one every day. If you become a grandmaster in the future and a major general of the military region, the Eastern Command will automatically provide you with a personal helicopter. Crystal Dong frowned, thinking to herself, this kid seems to have gotten even stronger. I can't see through him at all now. She said to Luke Saint, all right, let's get down to business. 3 days ago, all the training camps in the eastern provinces concluded. The chosen candidates have been decided. I'll look through the files. Her expression turned serious. This year's candidates are stronger than any previous batch. Quinn Tan, holding a stack of papers, said, if it weren't for you, I would have had to compete myself. Over 80% are talented martial artists, including one with elemental control talent. Furthermore, there's one person who has passed the Level 2 psychic assessment. There are over 20 geniuses with Level 3 strength or higher, and there's even a monster with Level 4 strength. Luke Saint listened without a hint of worry, just a calm, oh. Crystal Dong gave a wry smile. Hearing about their strength, don't you feel anything at all? Luke Saint put on a very fake expression. Very impressive. I'm totally blown away. Quinton pointed at him and laughed. Hey, you're being so fake, kid. I knew that for a monster like you, no matter how amazing others are, you wouldn't feel a thing. You should tell him about the rewards. Hearing the word rewards, Luke Saint's eyes lit up like stars. His spirit was instantly lifted. Crystal Dong began to explain, I knew you'd be interested in this. This year's selection is special. The heads of the Eastern Command will all be there to watch. Also, this year's selection won't be a lottery-style tournament anymore. Their expressions were grave. It will be through a different method, fighting against aberrant beasts. Luke Saint became extremely focused upon hearing this, looking at his own hands and wondering, aberrant beasts. They're the strongest enemy of the current world, appearing from cracks in the earth and sky. Aberrant beasts are endlessly, incomparably powerful. Even with countless human experts throwing themselves onto the battlefield every year, they cannot stop humanity's living space from being slowly eroded. Luke Saint got to the main point, saying seriously, I didn't expect the military to let students encounter aberrant beasts so early. It seems the situation on the battlefield is not very optimistic. Seeing that he understood, Crystal Dawn explained, that's right. All the experts of our nation are trying to find a way to break the stalemate. So, the higher-ups have decided that for future geniuses like you, who have an extremely high potential for success, they will no longer use the gradual, gentle approach. Instead, they will let you experience the pressure firsthand to turn it into motivation on your martial path. Luke Saint listened intently. Crystal continued, as a certain great figure once said, only in blood and fire can a true top-tier martial arts expert be forged. Don't think the selection has become harder, though. The rewards have become much richer because of it. Luke Saint let out an interested oh. Let's hear it then. As long as you make it into the top 10, you can receive a portion of aberrant blood. The top 3 can directly enter the aberrant blood pool. And if you become the Genesis star, you will be allowed to enter the aberrant marrow pool. Hearing this, Luke Saint was a bit puzzled. Aberrant blood, aberrant marrow. That sounds pretty intense. Crystal Dawn explained, it's a huge amount of energy extracted from the bodies of aberrant beasts, far better than the beast meat you ate at the training camp. That was just the simplest form of processing. Aberrant blood is extracted from the cellular fluid of the beasts. Aberrant marrow is the spinal fluid of the beasts. The rewards this time are all from beasts above level 4. This is unprecedented. Quintan, who was sitting, suddenly stood up. Those in the top 10 get a portion of aberrant blood, maybe a few hundred milliliters. But the top 3 can enter the pool, which is an entire cultivation tank. It's practically an unlimited supply. I know your appetite is huge, kid. This time, you can absorb as much as you want. A single portion of level 4 aberrant blood on the market costs at least 50 million. In the aberrant marrow pool, a whole pool of it, conservatively, it's worth at least 10 billion. Luke Saint was both intrigued and surprised. Something so valuable is an unlimited supply. He thought to himself, cultivating the immortal golden body of the astral body, refining art, requires a massive amount of energy. If I only rely on bone-nourishing pills and the spirit foundation strengthening soup, who knows how long it will take to complete the first stage. If I can get a large amount of energy from the aberrant blood or marrow, I can definitely shorten my training time immensely. This is an incredible opportunity. After a moment of thought, Luke Saint said confidently, I understand, Instructor Dong. At this point, it seemed they had arrived. This was the Eastern Military Region. Looking down from above, the military base was surrounded by thick, sturdy walls. Quintan stood next to Luke Saint and asked, So? Pretty amazing, huh? Luke Saint didn't seem to think so. He thought to himself, amazing? What's so amazing about it? The martial arts bases of the future, 10,000 years from now, are much larger than this place. And yet, they were still mercilessly destroyed by aberrant beasts. Maybe that's what's truly amazing. The helicopter landed on the grounds of a building. Luke Saint got out and prepared to head to his room. After walking a short distance, Crystal Dawn called out to him, Luke Saint, I'll come get you tomorrow. She looked at him and said, If you need anything, just use the terminal on the wall. Someone will bring it to you. Get a good rest tonight. Luke Saint didn't know what to say, so he just nodded silently. Soon after, Luke Saint returned to his room, deep in thought. A while later, Luke Saint entered the dreamscape again. The scene was the same. The woman on the snowy mountain with the icebergs from last time. She stood there, as majestic and powerful as ever. Luke Saint looked at her and thought, just standing here looking at her makes fear well up inside me. But then, a confident smile spread across his face. No, I will challenge her again. Our young hero began to activate his blood chi amplification. Then, the breath of fire exchange. Flames erupted, creating a vortex around Luke Saint. The young man's eyes blazed. The divine mirror king technique. He transformed into a muscular, powerful warrior. 10 times the astral power. A colossal fist was unleashed. Grandmaster level, 10 suns burning the sky, blazing flames. Suddenly, Luke Saint felt a pain so intense it drenched him in sweat. It seemed he had woken up. Luke Saint sat in a meditative posture, thinking, sigh, I still failed in the end. But, with full preparation, it's not like I have no hope of fighting back. This battle has further refined my martial arts. More than 10 of my techniques have reached the realm of perfect comprehension. The martial god art has taken another step forward. Most importantly, I've overcome my fear of death. My mental state is more steadfast and pure. Lost in thought, he heard someone approach the door. Luke Saint went to open it. Instructor Dong, Instructor Tan. Quintan asked him, Yo, Luke Saint, how did you rest? It was okay. Just felt the room was a bit stuffy, a little hot. Crystal Dong told him, Can't be helped. The Eastern Military Region base is just a few hundred kilometers from the #1 front line with the aberrant beasts. Many of them release toxic gases, so the base is very strict about air protection. Suddenly, she stared intently at Luke Saint and hesitated. But you... Luke Saint saw this and smiled. What's wrong? Is there something on my face? No, it's just, you today, you seem a little different from yesterday. Hearing her answer surprised Luke Saint, and he let out an oh. You seem to give off a different feeling. Quintan agreed with her. That's right, I feel it too. Instructor Dong wondered to herself. Yesterday, he was like a piece of jade covered in mud and sand. But today, that mud and sand have been washed clean. It's like he's a polished piece of jade now. Faced with the two instructors' confusion, our young hero started to show off, replying with a confident air. Maybe I just got more handsome? At this age, puberty hits hard. It's normal for my features to become sharper. Quintan laughed, so hard he cried. Ha ha, you got it, kid. Shamelessness is your style, and I appreciate it. Crystal Dawn just stood there, speechless. Then the three of them left. On the way, Quintan asked Luke Saint, Hey, tell me honestly, how confident are you in getting first place this time? Luke Saint thought for a moment and said, Not very. Just then, someone approached and called out, "Well, if it isn't Instructor Crystal Dawn. What a coincidence. It's been a long time. The last time we met, you were just as you are now, huh?" Instructor Dong replied with a calm expression, "Shangwan Ling, you're as annoying as ever." Luke Saint wondered, They don't seem to be rivals. Hearing Crystal Dong's words, the man pointed at Luke Saint and changed the subject. "Ha ha, Quintan, look at yourself. It's one thing for you to be a failure, but it seems your eye for talent is just as bad. You found someone like this? Are you trying to embarrass our Dongning province?" Instructor Tan pinched his nose and fanned the air as if something stank. He looked at the man and said, "Shangwan Ling, did you even brush your teeth this morning? Spreading your bad breath everywhere is just plain rude." He opened a file, flipped through a few pages, and said sarcastically, "Don't tell me your Dongyi province has a genius? Oh, looks like nothing special. Huh? Why aren't their names marked with a star in the records?" Shangwan Ling continued, "Oh, this is interesting. How about this? Let's make a bet. Let's bet one portion of level 5 aberrant marrow on whose representative gets a higher rank in the selection. What do you say?" Crystal Dong spoke up, trying to provoke Shangwan Ling. "Ha, one portion? There are 3 of us. What's the fun in betting just one portion?" With that, the 3 of them turned to leave. Instructor Tan even gave him the middle finger as a challenge. "Shangwan Ling, huh? If you don't have the goods, don't show off. It's embarrassing." Crystal Dong smirked and walked away, leaving behind a final remark. "You can't afford this bet. Let's go." Shangwan Ling stood there, gritting his teeth in frustration. They had only taken a few steps when Shangwan Ling called out, "Hey, wait." He held up 3 fingers. "Fine, 3 portions it is. We'll bet 3 portions of level 5 aberrant marrow." Seeing Crystal Dong remain silent, he sneered, "What's the matter, Crystal Dong? Are you scared? Or was raising the stakes just a way for you to back out of the bet? Who can't afford it now?" "Ha ha ha." Crystal Dong gritted her teeth in anger and replied, "Fine, I accept." Shangwan Ling smirked triumphantly. "Ha ha ha, excellent." Then he turned and patted his subordinate on the shoulder. "See that, Zhao Lai? That's what you call guts. 3 portions of level 5 aberrant marrow, enough to raise your fire control talent to a new level. You should thank Instructor Crystal Dong." Following his master's words, Zhao Lai placed a hand on his chest and said arrogantly, "But of course, I, Zhao Lai, thank Instructor Crystal Dong in advance." Quintan, upon hearing this, exploded. "What did you say? An elemental control talent? You bastard, Shangwan Ling. You dare to trick us. An elemental control talent wasn't listed in the files." Shangwan Ling laughed as if he'd won the lottery. "Ha ha, who decided that everything had to be written in the files? It's your own fault for being stupid. Better get ready. 3 portions of level 5 aberrant marrow." Ha ha ha. Instructor Tan was trembling with rage but could do nothing. Meanwhile, Luke Saint was completely calm, and Instructor Dong seemed unconcerned. As soon as Shangwan Ling left, Quin Tan relaxed his posture, coughed a few times, and said, "So, how was my acting? Did it feel real?" Crystal Dong turned away, muttering, "Ha, everyone hides some of their strength in the files. Only an idiot like Shangwan Ling thinks he's the only one who knows that. Elemental control is impressive, but I wonder how it compares to a level 3 psychic." Meanwhile, Luke Saint shook his head and told Instructor Tan, "It was terrible. Your expressions were over the top, and your movements were stiff. Not good at all." Crystal Dong turned her back and said to Luke Saint, "The Shangwan and Dong families have never gotten along. That man is notoriously foul-mouthed. Every time we meet, he has to poke and prod a few times before he's satisfied. Plus, our region has always lacked geniuses, so we've been pushed around. So this time, all our hopes are on you. Don't worry about the bet. I was the one who agreed to it. If we lose, I'll pay for all 3 portions. But if we win, my share will go to you." Quintan happily added, He mine too." After walking for a bit, they arrived. Crystal Dong said to Luke Saint, "All right, this is it. We can only take you this far. Someone else will explain the rules of the selection to you." "Okay, thank you, instructors." As the elevator doors were about to close, Crystal Dong stopped them. Wait. She looked at him seriously and asked, Luke Saint, how confident are you in this election? I mean, for the Genesis star. Luke Saint struck a thoughtful pose again. A little, but not much. Hearing this, Crystal Dong let go of the elevator door, and it slowly closed. Only the two instructors' questions remained. Is that so? What does not much even mean? Their faces were filled with worry, feeling like they had no chance. But then, Luke Saint suddenly broke into a confident smile and said, 99%. Unless I'm suddenly disqualified, then of course I won't get first place. Inside the meeting room, as a man walked in, everyone stood up and saluted. General Yu. General Yu. He gestured with his hand. Sit down. This old man was the Level 7 Grandmaster, Major General Yu Fei. He sat down at the table and asked, Are all the provincial genius representatives assembled? An officer quickly reported, They are all assembled. The aberrant B selection has also completed its inspection. Each contestant will enter their own trial path. The contestant who defeats all the arranged aberrant beasts and reaches the finish line first will be the winner. The aberrant beasts arranged on each path include 3 Level 2 beasts and 1 Level 3 beast. That's 1 Level 3 aberrant beast, 1 Level 4 aberrant beast. And for the most important challenge, they will face a quasi-level 5 aberrant beast, the golden-eyed demon ape. The people below were all shocked to hear this. A quasi-level 5 beast? And the golden-eyed demon ape, the strongest among its peers? Even 2 of our senior officers will be needed to take it down. Isn't that too difficult for a group of 18-year-olds? Crystal Dong explained, They are not required to defeat this quasi-level 5 golden-eyed demon ape alone. They will face it together. The Genesis Star is the leader of the army. Facing a powerful enemy by gathering all available strength is the path to victory, even if it means cooperating with competitors. Yu Fei spoke with a grim face. The Eastern Military Region guards the second most important and also the second most dangerous front line in the entire Dragon Country. Yet for the past few years, we have continuously ranked last in the national military region competitions. If the combined strength of the top martial arts geniuses of the entire Eastern region cannot even stand against a single young quasi-level 5 aberrant beast, then our Eastern region, no, the Dragon Country, has no future. His expression was stern, his words as firm as steel. The group of instructors listened, speechless. Yu Fei said calmly, Begin. Let's see what kind of talent we have this time. Yes, sir. One contestant was running at high speed. He thought to himself, This year's selection is the most special in years. I am the hope of Haiqing Province, qualified to become the Genesis Star. That is me. Just as he finished his thought, he encountered a giant aberrant beast. The guy was startled and panicked as the beast quickly charged at him. He was quickly pinned down. He cursed in frustration, You damn beast. Pinned against the wall, he gritted his teeth and strained to push it back. Damn it, who do you think I am? I'm the strongest genius. Don't even think about it. From the looks of it, this young man was having a hard time. The aberrant beast had transformed and gained the upper hand. Inside the observation room, General Yu Fei watched the screen and instructed, The Genesis Star is the brightest new star of humanity. The chosen one is the hope of the nation. Just being outstanding is not enough. The person we need will be extraordinary. He ordered, Tell the instructors in charge of safety to pay close attention. They are all the future of our country. Don't let them get hurt. Zoom in on the screens of the star-rated candidates. Let's see how the geniuses among geniuses perform. Yes, sir. Cut to the genius representative of Dongza Province, Stella Kong, 17 years and 8 months old. She is a martial artist with elemental control talent. Stella Kong controls the element of electricity. Her current ability control level is 1. The second person is the genius representative of Jiangzhou Province, Jaden Xiao. He is 18 years and 3 months old, a level 3 martial artist, and a martial artist with spiritual talent. He has passed the Level 2 psychic assessment. Next up is the third person, the genius representative of Shilin Province, Rex Xing. His body is rippling with muscle. 18 years and 9 months old. A Level 4 martial artist, he can easily fight against aberrant beasts. After dealing with it, he even flashed a confident smile. He is a martial artist with a defensive-type talent. His current talent level is Iron Skin Level 3. He is extremely confident in his defensive abilities. Even the aberrant beasts get tired of attacking him. One of his punches blew them all away. Seeing this, Yu Fei praised them. Not bad, really good. These young people are truly talented. To be able to easily face Level 2 beasts and even one-shot Level 3 beasts, this kind of talent would be dazzling in any selection. It seems these few are. Suddenly, the general, mid-sentence, zoomed in on a screen. He was surprised and let out an "oh." Fire element control. This one's not bad either. Why wasn't he given a star rating? Shang Wanling, hearing Yu Fei's praise, quickly stood up. Reporting, sir. Zhalia's ability awakened not long ago, so there wasn't time to update his file. My apologies. Yu Fei said, no matter. Let strength speak for itself. You've done well, raising a good seedling. Yes, it is my duty, sir. He then sat down, and the other instructors started whispering, humph, deliberately hiding his strength to get a high evaluation later. Who doesn't know that old trick? Just for show. Then another instructor also hid something. General Yu Fei watched, very satisfied. Good, very good. To be able to break through the first stage so quickly. It seems he's about to. Mid-sentence, he was startled by another discovery. Huh? What? This path. What the hell is this progress? General Yu Fei's voice boomed again. What's wrong with this path? Why are there no red dots for any aberrant beasts? Bring up the camera now. Crystal Dong quickly complied. The camera feed came up, showing all the aberrant beasts lying defeated on the ground. Yu Fei was shocked. It's only been 3 minutes. Not only has he killed all the beasts, but his speed is even faster than those 4 elites. He demanded impatiently, monitoring room, answer me immediately. Tell me who this is. Crystal Dong calmly stated, this is Luke Saint's trial path. On the screen, a portrait of our Luke Saint appeared. Rewinding the camera 3 minutes, Luke Saint walked step by step into the battle. The young man had pretty good luck, encountering a giant aberrant beast right at the start. Its eyes and nose glowed with a blue light, its mouth drooling. The beast, seemingly starved for meat, charged madly at Luke Saint. But our hero stood calmly observing. In this fight, it was yet to be seen who would be whose meal. At this moment, Luke Saint's face hardened with resolve. Clenching his fist, he broke into a confident smirk. I've eaten your kind before. You taste pretty good. He threw a powerful punch into its body. A massive wave of energy followed the punch, shaking the very space around them. The next moment, the beast was nothing but scattered pieces on the ground. The young man said contemptuously, so weak. Just then, 2 more beasts emerged from a gate, preparing to charge. Seeing their comrade torn to pieces, the remaining 2 went berserk and charged forward for revenge. One had just gotten close when Luke Saint crushed it with one hand, making it scream in agony. The other was flattened by a punch from above. Interesting. Luke Saint easily defeated the aberrant beasts in an instant. He could feel the power within his body. This ability is a bit like master-level martial arts, but it's a level higher and even more comprehensive. Mastery level involves condensing power, pinpointing strikes, and understanding weaknesses like achieving a state of omniscience. Suddenly, a dark force emerged from the boar's leg. Nothing is unknown. A 3-eyed fox dashed towards Luke Saint from behind, but he remained perfectly calm, sensing it. Nothing is impossible. Luke Saint used just a small pebble under his heel, and with that, he sent the aberrant beast flying far away. This is the martial god art. General Yu Fei, observing through the camera, also found it strange. How was this contestant so fast? He's already reached the final gate. The other instructors agreed and discussed. That's right, he looks ordinary, but his punching power is incredible. Every aberrant beast was taken down with a single punch. Not a single one required a second hit. Yu Fei, curious about Luke Saint, asked, "Do you have his file?" "Read it." Crystal Dong picked up the file and read, "Representative of Dongning Province's geniuses, Luke Saint, 18 years and 5 months old, level 3 martial artist, strength-type talent." At this point, Shang Wanling was stunned and worried. Could it be that she also hid? The crowd buzzed with discussion again. There's really nothing outstanding about him. He didn't reveal any special abilities during the fight. His overall stats seemed stronger than a normal level 3, but not quite level 4. Hearing these whispers, General Yu Fei spoke up. "Can none of you see it? This young man has definitely mastered at least 4 or 5 martial arts to the perfect comprehension realm. Both his movement and fist techniques have reached the consummate realm, which is why his combat power is so outstanding." The instructor's faces tensed. 4 or 5 perfect comprehension realms, including 2 consummate realms? And he's only 18? Even if he started training in the womb, that's impossible. Yu Fei crossed his arms, looking pleased. "It's been a long time since I've seen such a pure martial arts genius. They were common only in the first 100 years when martial arts first appeared. But now..." Suddenly, his attention was caught by another surprise, and he let out a "huh." An aberrant beast was clinging to the wall behind Luke Saint, its body trembling as it prepared to attack. Luke Saint seemed to have sensed the impending danger. The next moment, the beast's clones dashed forward at high speed, surrounding our hero. All at once, the clones lunged, trying to crush Luke Saint. But it wasn't that easy. Suddenly, a blue energy vortex formed around Luke Saint. This is the martial god art, perception. He continued to sense. It seems the potential of the martial god art is more terrifying than I imagined. Then, with one hand, he grabbed one of the clones by the neck. Then, he gleefully jumped high into the air, holding the beast. As he was about to land, Luke Saint slammed the beast into the ground. It was an absolutely epic takedown. After dealing with it, Luke Saint casually walked away, leaving the beast twitching on the floor. General Yu Fei couldn't believe his eyes and stood up. A level 4 shadow leopard. Just like that was... Only then did General Yu Fei realize. I was wrong. This kid's fist technique isn't at the consummate realm, it's at the mastery realm. Quintan stroked his chin with amusement and smirked. So this is what 99% meant. That level of confidence was justified. Ha ha ha. The instructor Shang Wanling, sitting next to him, remembered the bet from before and broke out in a cold sweat. He gritted his teeth in frustration. Quintan gave him the middle finger again, taunting him. "What are you looking at, you stupid foul-mouth?" At this time, Luke Saint was walking and thinking that aberrant beast was the last one on the path. I've tested the limits of the first state of the martial god art quite a bit. Standing before a gate, Luke Saint thought, I can sense a very powerful aberrant beast aura ahead. Stepping inside, the next challenge was a golden-eyed demon ape locked in an iron cage. Luke Saint finally started to warm up his muscles, asking with excitement, "So this is the main event? If the warm-up is over, then I don't need to hold back anymore." The golden-eyed demon ape opened its mouth and let out a ferocious roar. It looked terrifyingly ugly, just as the saying goes, ugly as a gorilla. Luke Saint raised his fist, looking incredibly cool, and shouted, "Now, tremble before me."